Hey, welcome, Inner Circle members. Coach Carroll here. Today, I'm going to be covering how to create a punch list and the importance of it. Yesterday evening, I posted a punch list of my very own from 2013. Hopefully, you guys had the opportunity to look through that. And hopefully what you took from that was that I've made a lot of growth in the last 4 years, and you can do the same. I plan on personally still making even more growth every 4 years from here on out, because let's face it, not every day is promised to us, and none of us really know when our last day here will be. So understanding that you have to continually progress to get better, especially in business, especially in entrepreneurship. You know, I think a lot of times entrepreneurs, we get stuck. We get to a certain level, we become a tad bit complacent, and then we don't see the real value in extending and expanding. This happened to me in my early 20s, right? Started making some money. Lawn and landscape company was doing well, really well, and every half day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was on my boat. And that was really fun. I had a lot of good times, but there came a point where I looked at it and I said, man, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Like, this is not me. There's got to be more to it. And so creating a punch list is figuring out what you have left to do in your life. Okay. And I want to share something. I Googled, the purpose of a punch list. Like what is a punch list? And so Wikipedia says a punch list is a document prepared near the end of a construction project listing work not conforming to contract specifications that the contractor must complete prior to final payment. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to look at this and understand that a punch list in your life is a sheet that, as we start nearing the end of construction, right, on the level that we're at now, we're going to have small things that have to be cleaned up before we get final payment. Okay? Okay? Those small things, right? Maybe we need to work on our discipline a little more. Maybe we need to work on our attendance and punctuality. Maybe we need to work on our communication skills. Maybe we need to work on our sales ability. Maybe we need to work on our product information and knowledge. Maybe we need to work on networking skills. There's a whole host of things that you can use. And if you looked at my punch list from yesterday, what I was really struggling with in 2013 was I had learned a lot about sales. I had hired a sales coach. He had trained me. I was off and at it. And then the problem came to where my operations of the business couldn't keep up. Okay, like the operational side of the company just. So that was a challenge for me. And although my sales were great, I didn't have the ability, the skill set, the leadership skills to manage and maintain and grow more than just maintain. We were maintaining, but I had to grow because I was selling so much work that if I didn't grow, we couldn't get the work done, and that just caused problems. And so it was this constant cycle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I want you to think, what's going on right now in your life that you need some clarity on, that you need to get concrete about, you need to put a piece of tape on, right? Because when I walk through a construction project, so like we're flipping a house right now, 2,700 square foot, 3-story cabin, what I will do is when we're about 2 weeks out from finishing, I'll take blue painter's tape and I will walk through and just tag every little thing that needs to be finished. Every little thing that needs to be finished. And that's me creating my punch list. In sales and when I coach clients in the full build out package, our very first session, that's what we do. And so to Ryan or Dave or Johnny, they'll tell you, we sit down and I'm like, okay, what is your emergent, what is at the top? Because if you don't know what the emergent challenge versus the urgent versus the non-urgent, if you can't prioritize those, of them. Okay? If you cannot prioritize what your punch list is in your life, then you simply won't do any of it. Okay? So we got to get real about that. And you know, here's the other thing. What I loved about this is that the work, it says here that the punch list covers the work that's not conforming to the specifications that the contractor must complete prior to final payment. So the specifications, right? Do you have a blueprint for your life? Blueprint for your life. If you don't have a vision board, if you don't I'll show you guys. Hold on just a second. About to turn the camera for you. If you don't have the vision board, did you see it? If you don't have the vision board, if you don't have the clarity and the concreteness that comes with having a vision, having a plan, and knowing exactly where you're going to go with it, that was my biggest challenge. That honestly is what took me to the next level from where I was at. I realized that I didn't just want to run Easy Pro for the rest of my life. I didn't want to just do lawn care. Lawn and landscaping in my business had very small margins because of the types of contracts we had. So instead of sticking in lawn and landscaping, I decided to exit that, only focus on power washing. Because, you know, when I looked at our book of business in Easy Pro, I said, okay, look, we're doing all of this, making a lot of money, right? Where's our best margin at? And I figured out that it was a small little piece called power washing. I said, okay, well, let's get rid of the rest of this, take this little piece and grow it. So that's what Easy Pro does now. But I also knew that I wanted to get into real estate. I knew that my coaching was something, coaching and speaking is something that I'm very passionate about and I enjoy doing. I truly believe that that's my life purpose, but we got to pay the bills. The marketing agency, you know, when I decided to start the marketing agency, tell you guys a funny story. I actually started Bottom Line Marketing in 2009 when we moved into the office we were at previously since 2009. And so Easy Pro needed a shop. I needed a way to make extra revenue, so I started another little side hustle. So we had Easy Pro and Bottom Line Marketing. And this was 2009, and I was like, oh, social media. And nobody was buying it. Nobody wanted to hear about it. I need to go back and dig up some of my old presentation videos where I was talking about Facebook and stuff. But you have to understand that sometimes a plan just isn't matured enough. So it went away, grew Easy Pro. Now we got Bottom Line Marketing, which is essentially now Pro Media, in a lot different version of that. We've got the real estate, but none of this would have happened. None of these businesses would have happened without vision and without me creating a punch list to know what is left on the spec sheet for me to get to that next level. Because I'm here and I want to go to here, okay? There's a plan. There's steps we have to take. And so need to be on the punch list, right? You need to sell more accounts. You need to be better at networking. You need to increase your margins. You need to raise your prices. You need to expand and get new equipment. You need to seek out financing. You need to work on getting your credit better. You need to work on cash flow issues. You need to pay down debt. Whatever may be going on that keeps you from going to that next level, that's what needs to go on the punch list. So if you will, take out a sheet of paper, and if you're watching this on the replay, just hit pause, get your sheet of paper out. And what I want you to put on the sheet of paper is at the very top, I want you to put E, the letter E, and then underneath that, I want you to put the letter U, and at the bottom, I want you to put the letter NU. So EU and NU, this stands for emergent, urgent, and non-urgent, okay? So what we're gonna do now is after we have this roadmap, we have this plan set out, and we do some self-checking, you know, we sit in silence, maybe do a little meditating, really figure out, man, what is it that I'm struggling with right now? Maybe I need to get out of my own way. Maybe I need to sell more. Maybe I need to remove some fear. Whatever it may be, we need to just jot those down. And you're not gonna categorize those right now. We're just gonna jot them all down, the whole entire punch list, everything we need to work on. Then we're gonna go back through that list after we're done, we're going to say, okay, what is the biggest thing that's holding me back from getting to the next level, right? If we're walking through a house and we're punch listing it out, and there's some marks on the paint that need to be touched up, maybe there's some unfinished surfaces on the unsmooth surface on the drywall, maybe a doorknob's a little loose, but then we walk into the bathroom and the toilet's missing, right? That is going to be something that's emergent. Like, there's no way in hell you can sell a house if the toilet's missing, right? Paint scuff, doorknob a little loose, we can fix all that. But the emergent one would jump straight to the top of the list, and that's, we got to have a commode, right? So I want you to look at your list, and I want you to figure out, what is it that you need to be adding to the top? What is the emergent thing that needs to go straight to the top of your list? And so after you have that full list, we figure out the emergents. Maybe it's 2, 3, 4, 5 things. We put those in the emergent. And then maybe we find the other 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are urgent. And then we find the 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are non-urgent that would get taken care of last, okay? And so what we're going to do is, I think it was Brian Tracy wrote the book, Eat That Frog. Like, you just got to eat the frog, man. You got to do the very first thing, the biggest one first. Gets out of the way, everything else gets easier. So you have to understand that your top list, that emergent stuff, you've got to hammer that out, man. Every single day you should be working on that and that alone. One of the biggest problems with small business owners and entrepreneurs that are trying to get launched, that 0 to $1 million mark, is that you don't have the right mindset about how you run your company. And I'm telling you this from experience. My mistake was, I was always worried about the cash, like the income. That's all that mattered. I just needed to, what was the next number we're going to get at? We did $300,000, and then we did $500,000, and we did $700,000, and we did $900,000. Like, we were just always climbing, always climbing, always climbing. And that's the only thing I focused on. It was one of my biggest mistakes. As I was climbing and making more money, I realized that I wasn't training my employees. I wasn't worried about growth and leadership. I wasn't worried about retaining clients. It was just all about front end, top funnel sales. Get them in, get them in, get them in, get them in. And while that's important, you have to look at the whole picture, because if you have holes in your funnel that, things are leaking out of, employees, clients, money, then you're going to have an issue with being able to grow past a certain point. You can only push the boulder up the hill for so long. Eventually, it's like a reversed. It's like a reverse snowball. As a snowball, like an avalanche, it comes down, it gets bigger, bigger, bigger. Well, as you push your company up the hill, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're going to have more people helping you push that thing up the hill. You can't do it by yourself. So maybe it's personal growth that you need to add to your punch list. Maybe you need to read some personal development books. Maybe you need to read some books about goal setting. Maybe you need to fill out a goal action planner. You can message me if you need one of those. You have to figure out your way, because you're the only one that knows that. Before we take on a full build-out client, which is our $10,000 coaching program, we go through a in-depth 4-question survey. And really all I'm doing in this 4-question survey is I'm looking for hints that would tell me that that's not going to be a good client, right? So like when we ask the question, what's the reason? Why is the reason? After you explain what your perfect life is, what's the reason you don't have that yet? And if they say anything externally, right? Like, oh, it's my wife, oh, it's my husband, oh, it's my dog, it's my kids, it's my employees, yada yada yada. That's a victim mentality mindset. Okay, it's this mindset that, oh, woe is me. And hard entrepreneurs, truly successful entrepreneurs, they take extreme ownership in everything they do. It's on them. It's like, my bad, man. My bad. That was on me. We'll get it next time. Even though it might be somebody else's fault. You have to take that ownership, because if not, then you're not going to be able to grow that company. You're not going to be able to grow the culture. You're not going to be able to grow what it's going to take, the atmosphere and the energy that it's going to take to get your company to the next level. More importantly, to get your team members to the next level. So build a punch list is important. You have to understand that, you know, the whole reason for this thing is that you've got a contract with yourself, right? You have to have a contract with yourself that you say, self, this is where we're going. Here's the steps that we got to take to get there. And I'm not letting you out of this contract. You're not getting final payment until everything on this punch list is done. You take out a sheet of paper, make your list, categorize them into emergent, urgent, and non-urgent, and then post that thing on the wall. And do this every 6 to 12 months of, all right, what's the punch list I need to do? I honestly like 90-day cycles. It's just more condensed, easier to focus, easier to create a plan of clarity. Where do we need to go in the next 90 days? So maybe start there. Create that punch list and say, what do I need to take care of in the next 90 days? Maybe I need to sell X number of accounts. Maybe I need to grow like this. Maybe I need to read this. Maybe I need to get around this person. Maybe I need to interview this person. Maybe I need to spend some time with this person. Maybe I need to invest a little more in my relationships. Maybe I need to clean up my environment, my house, my car, my office. Maybe I need to grow physically, my physical health. Maybe I need to start eating a little better. Maybe I need to start exercising, drinking more water. There are so many things that you can add to this list, this punch list. And there's so many pieces to the puzzle of growth and learning the ability to have emotional intelligence, where you can look at yourself and do some self-deconstruction, trying to figure out what pieces are missing. I promise you, if you can do this, if you can figure this, and this is the tactic, right? Because the theory is we have to go from point A to point B. We make a contract with ourselves to get from point A to point B, and then we create the punch list to hold ourselves accountable, right? That is the overall theory here, right? The theory is point A to point B. The punch list is the tactic to get you there, and you don't get the payment. You don't get the reward. Is completed. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Again, welcome to the 3 newest members here in Inner Circle. And guys, please do feel free to tell people about us. I'll post a link in the comment section below. You guys can just copy that and paste it out on your Facebook page. I know we all work with other business owners. We've got other people. So this is really about growing this network. So that you know, I want to build this thing right so that in 5 years from now, everybody in here is at a dynamically different place than where you guys start at. No matter if you're the guy just starting out, or if you're already doing $100,000 a year, $1 million a year, like, great. Let's take that from $1 million to 10 million. Let's take it from 100,000 to 1 million. Let's take it from 0 to 100,000. Understand that the power of association, it's not the law of association. It's not you become the sum of the 5 people you're around. All of that is bullshit. It's just made up. But the power of association is real. It doesn't have to do with your 5 friends. It has to do with everyone you associate with, okay? So everyone that you associate with is vitally important to your success. That's why I created this group. And so if you guys could help share the link out for me, I'd really, really appreciate it. You know, as you start working through your punch list, feel free to post them here in the group. You know, I want this to be a very warm and comfortable environment. We're all here to grow. None of us are perfect. We all have so much to learn. I learn new stuff every day. So it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to lead a group like this, to lead a group of awesome entrepreneurs like yourselves. And I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate that. So that's all for today. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. We're back on the social media marketing content. I actually had full transparency, I'll share this with you guys. We actually had one guy cancel his membership for the group, and so he said that he appreciated the Q&A, but there wasn't enough content for him to see value in it. So I don't want that to happen again. So I'm going to do a better job of myself of putting out more content. When I created the group, it was going to be more of like you guys ask questions and I answer them, but I definitely want to make sure that I'm over delivering and giving you guys far more than what you're paying for, which is the $27. So we're going to continue to do little videos like this with punch list and tactics and different sales strategies. So also leave me a comment below and let me know some topics, some ideas, some information you would like to see me cover here in the group to help you out. And also I'll be recording all of these calls and actually putting them into Sales Excellence University. So if you guys are full Sales Excellence University students, then you'll have access to these as well, and they're recorded in a new section as well as all the other content. And we're also building out the social media content as well for training to put into Sales Excellence University. So I'll post a link to Inner Circle, share it out for me. You guys have an awesome day, and remember, it's Follow-Up Friday. So make sure you go into Pipedrive or into your pipeline, wherever it may be, all those open quotes that you have. Make it your goal today to go through and just touch base and say, hey, bro, we doing business? Hey, Mrs. Peterson, just wanted to follow up with you on that roof cleaning quote we sent you last week. I've got an opening for the 7th of June. Are you ready to get on the schedule? Hey, Mr. Smith, how about that deck? We're putting our order in for stain next week. If you're wanting to get on the schedule, let's go ahead and get our spot locked in. You know, hey, commercial account, sent you that quote 6 months ago, and I'm just following up again because I ain't going nowhere, dog. I'm here. You have to follow up, guys. That's where the fortune's at. So go out there, make it an awesome Follow-Up Friday. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. See you tomorrow.